You are commanded to go do something productive with your life.
Wow.
To go give and to produce and to risk and to then go sow into other people. That is a biblical idea that has made the world a profoundly better place.
It's been a long day.
Thank you all for your support.
The assassin's bullet that was meant to kill a movement instead ignited an army and ignited a wife, a widow, who says her cries will echo around the world like a battle cry.
If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea.
Sunday in Arizona, State Farm Stadium, the same place that holds 60,000 screaming Arizona Cardinals fans, will instead hold 60,000 warriors for Christ, lovers of freedom, lovers of the truth. President Trump will be there. Vice President Vance will be there. In attendance also a cadre of influential conservatives and people close to Charlie Kirk who knew Charlie Kirk, and patriots from all over America and the world, up to 100,000, maybe more, for an event that police are already saying will have Super Bowl tight security. And the woman elevated to a new role as spokeswoman, picking up her husband's blood-soaked microphone, Erica Kirk. She will speak on her devastating loss and offer hope to those carrying Charlie's legacy onward. On Thursday, we learned that Erica is now officially the new CEO and board chair of Turning Point USA. It's not because she's a widow. It's not because of sympathy. It's not because of any other reason other than Charlie himself. Charlie chose Erica, his wife, for this moment.
I'm pleased to be able to announce with you, and I think it's appropriate because of who you are and who this person is, that the Turning Point board has unanimously selected Erica Kirk as the new CEO and chair of the board. And not only is that amazing in and of itself, but I can assure you, Megan, that Charlie told me personally, and he told others, he probably told Mikey, that if anything ever happened to him, that this is exactly what he wanted.
That's right. They got it exactly right. That is exactly right. That is exactly who should be leading Turning Point. Who knows Charlie better? Who else on earth completely understands Charlie more than his own wife, Erica? The man who built the greatest conservative youth movement in history. He wasn't just a brilliant activist, he was a brilliant strategist, and he was prepared even for an unthinkable moment, just like this one. And here's what the mainstream media isn't telling you. Since the assassination, Charlie is still winning debates, and the gospel is still going out. Even in Charlie's death, there's been story and story on social media. Have you seen of people saying, I haven't been to church in a long time? Or, I'm an atheist. I don't understand, but I want to read and understand more about who Jesus, who Yeshua, who he says he is. People doing that for the very first time. Or people saying, I haven't opened a Bible in a very long time. And now, since the assassination, Charlie's words flooding every corner of the internet, and they're drawing people to faith. Listen to this woman.
Guys, what is happening? I bought a Bible yesterday. Me. If you know me, like, this is like, what? I used to wear shirts that say like 666 and stuff like that, and I bought a Bible.
Wow.
Like, I have since, I have thrown that shirt out. I actually threw it out a while ago. I guess Jesus was like coming for me, but like, I'm not mad about this bandwagon. I don't really want to call it a bandwagon. It's way better than some like Kansas City Chiefs bandwagon or something like that. But like, what is going on?
What is going on? What
is going on?
What is going on? She said, pray for me. Listen, by the way, Jesus isn't coming for you. He's happy for you. He's thrilled for you. I'm thrilled for you. We're thrilled for you. Do we know who that woman is? No. Does it matter? Not at all. Haven't you guys seen these stories? They are incredibly powerful. People saying, I bought a Bible. I'm reading a Bible now. I'm wow. And the people closest to Charlie are opening up and sharing some of the really hard truths, some of the hard things that happened on the day that he was shot. Frank Turek. Frank Turek isn't just a friend, he's a mentor of Charlie Kirk. And he said that he was standing just a few feet away when the shots rang out. Now, Frank was actually in the car administering CPR as Charlie was being whisked to the hospital. Listen.
I'm coming over the back seat and Charlie's laid out in front, just right in front of me. And Charlie's so tall, we can't close the door. We drove 4 miles, I don't know, it's 4 something miles, all the way to the hospital with the door open. To this day, I don't know how Brian stayed in the car because we're just go. We're trying to stop the bleeding. You saw it.
Yeah. The chaos. Can you imagine how chaotic that must have been? Frank was on FaceTime with his daughter-in-law when that shot rang out. He said that he thought that the bullet came from much closer. We actually have video of that chaotic scene. We're going to show it to you right now. He's being carried from immediately off stage. You can see he's soaked in blood. These are 5 guys. Now that's Frank in the white shirt. You see him there. He's wearing the white polo. To this, I say, dear God. The full horror of Charlie's final moments and the glory. Frank mentioned that Charlie, he called him his 4th son. That's how close they were. And Frank jumped into the SUV, heard him say, pulled the thing down and blood everywhere. And he's giving CPR and they're racing to the hospital. The car door is open and Charlie's so tall they can't even get the door shut. And he's screaming, Charlie, come on. Charlie, come on.
Rick starts praying out loud. I'm praying out loud. We're yelling, come on, let's go. And we're doing the best we can to navigate traffic. This is not a highway. We're on surface streets.
He says they're blowing red lights. And at one point, somebody in the car says, guys, it was a long thing that he shared. It was an hour, so I'm trying to condense it. But he says, guys, let's get to the hospital alive. That just paint a picture of the chaos there. And then this.
Charlie wasn't there. His eyes were fixed. He wasn't looking at me. He was looking past me right into eternity. He was with Jesus already. He was killed instantly and felt absolutely no pain. That's what I was told later. But of course, we had to try.
Yeah. Here's what I find inspiring about that. And here's the painful truth. Charlie Kirk knew that he was a target. He embraced his calling anyway. He walked through the fire. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. The Lord was with him right by his side. Daniel in the lion's den. That was Charlie Kirk. Walking onto a college campus. Oh, you better believe it. Exactly. Lion's den. On his own show, Charlie talked about receiving death threat after death threat after death threat.
My fear, Senator, and I hope I'm wrong, and let's stay in prayer that I'm wrong, that someone is going to get shot the same way that Steve Scalise got shot, and God forbid, killed. The left is creating a pressure cooker with so many of their rank and file paramilitary troops that very well might result in one of us getting shot or killed. God forbid that happens. We're getting death threats every single day here on the Charlie Kirk Show.
That's right. Conservatives, when they show up on a college campus, have to have security. They have to have these bulletproof vests. People on the left, when they show up on campus, they can breeze right in, breeze right out. That's America today. One more thing from Frank Turek. Frank said that Charlie sent him 1 Corinthians 16:9 the day before the assassination. It says, a wide door for effective work has opened up to me, and there are many adversaries. Charlie knew the risk. He was wide-eyed about the message that he was sharing. This was the assassination that shocked the world, but if we listen to what Charlie said and his plan to hand Turning Point to Erica, Charlie knew that Yes, the risk is high. We just said that, but there is a high, high cost for you and for me, for all of us, for following Jesus, for following Yeshua. Charlie paid an enormous price. Enormous price. He'll never go home to his wife and children. Not here, but he will see them again. Charlie could have stayed safe in his studio. He could have done Zoom interviews. He could have had, a third wall, some kind of a barrier between him and all. He could have done that. He could have played it safe. But he went to where the battle was the hottest, university campuses, where minds are being poisoned. But he didn't go there with hate. He went there to build a bridge to communities, to people traditionally hostile, very hostile to the gospel. Look at this beautiful exchange between Charlie and a precious trans-identifying person asking Charlie about taking drugs and how safe they are before a possible operation.
I just don't know, with the whole medical stuff, what's true, what's not, what's helpful, because I've heard so many different opinions.
First of all, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm going to have an opinion that very few people will ever tell you, which is I want you to be very cautious putting drugs into your system in the pursuit of changing your body. Mm-hmm. I instead encourage you to work on what's going on in your brain first. I think what you need first and foremost is just a diagnosis. Mm-hmm. Just someone that is going to listen to what you've gone through, listen to what else is going on. My prayer for you, and again, very few people will say this, I actually want to see you be comfortable in how you were born.
What a beautiful and loving response from Charlie Kirk. One of the reasons Charlie's assassination feels different is that we suddenly can almost smell that there's a book of Acts, real persecution. Remember, Paul faced when he went from village to village, beaten, imprisoned, threatened with tortured, threatened with death. You can almost feel, can't you feel that? If you don't feel that, why don't you? Violence, intimidation. It's not one where, you may lose some followers on Instagram or get a snarky look from a coworker, snarky look, I should say. There is real persecution happening. The Church of Annunciation, children being shot, Charlie Kirk, Steve Scalise, you heard Charlie Kirk mention earlier. The bullets are only flying one direction. Ask any Christian in Nigeria, in Syria. They'll tell you. They know what it feels like. And just like the disciples who rejoiced, they rejoiced when they were beaten for the sake of Christ. Can we pray for that kind of spirit? Do we want to be beaten? No. But do we want to stand strong, carrying out, speaking the truth in love to a world that needs to hear it? Absolutely. Can we ask God for the courage, this much courage that Charlie Kirk had, to go where it's uncomfortable? The founder of this network, Pastor Jack Hibbs, a dear friend of Charlie and of Erica, never afraid to tell the truth for the gospel's sake, paid tribute to Charlie at Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills. Listen.
Charlie was not unique when it comes to what it means to be an American. That God gave us our freedoms. That we've been endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. God has done this. And Charlie lived a life that in 1770 or 73 or 75 or 76 or 1783 or 1789, he would have been one of thousands, if not millions.
One of millions of Charlie Kirks today. That would be, what greater blessing is that? 54,000 Turning Point USA chapters at last count, at least as we're recording this. New chapter requests, 54,000. Look at what the enemy ignited. Look. One more thing I want you to hear. Charlie Kirk very much knew his role as a husband, as a father, as someone who was called to carry a giant towering intellect, someone who could speak and could connect with young people like he could connect with older people. Didn't matter. Everyone is feeling that loss in their heart. Everyone. But he knew specifically men. Men, it's on us. It's on you. It's on us to not be passive, to not just hope, oh, somebody else will do it. If you're feeling a tug in your heartstrings after what happened to Charlie, to step up and do something, do it. If it's starting a ministry at your church, do it. If it's calling somebody and making amends, maybe it's a family member that you haven't spoken to in years, do it. Because you could enter into eternity just like that. Charlie Kirk, speaking to men at Promise Keepers. This is from 2024. Listen to what he says.
The question is, will Christian men commit to what really matters, to the divine, to the beautiful, to the good, with courage and with purpose? The next time that you are confronted with saying the hard thing and the honest thing, and you know it comes at a price to your flesh or yourself, you say the true thing. The next time you see somebody who is suffering or is being treated unjustly and you can intervene, you do something about it. You stand up to the bully, you put your own neck on there, and you choose what is right over what is comfortable. The most masculine people that I know are the ones that go into places where they are not welcome, they were not invited, that they will be booed off stage, and they still proclaim the truth. That's what it means to be a man.
Love that. Powerful. When the world sees 60,000 to, who knows, 100,000 to, I think it's actually going to be more. I know people from Israel that are flying to Arizona just to be a part of the celebration of Charlie Kirk's life. And when the world sees all of those people flooding into the stadium and the overflow, whatever that looks like outside the stadium, they're going to see something that the left never counted on. Martyrdom, it doesn't end a movement. It multiplies it. God bless the memory of Charlie Kirk. God bless you, Erica. God bless Turning Point USA. God bless everyone who has been devastated and still has a hole torn in their heart from what happened. Psalm 34:18, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He is with those who are crushed in spirit. That's my prayer over you. Be thinking about that as you're thinking about Charlie and the Kirk family. Be praying for them this weekend, won't you? I'm Daniel Cohen. Thanks for watching The Daniel Cohen Show on the Real Life Network.